to start, the obvious is we're living to play another day, and we're going to play in Richmond, which is something that we talked about at the beginning of the year as a team, that we wanted to be in Richmond the entire time, and we've met that goal, and we're going to go over to the Coliseum and give Dayton a good run. I think the two players sitting next to me and our seniors have been outstanding. I thought they were outstanding tonight, and they showed that they didn't want to go home, and that's a compliment to that group, because they played their tails off tonight. And again, Davidson was very, very good. I thought their game plan was very difficult to guard, and I thought we did an excellent job defending them.
Michaela and Kylie, final game here at the Robinson Center. How does it feel to go out with the W?
Well, it means the world that we get a win on our last home game, and I know we were really all just so happy we got another shot, and it was in the tournament, and we made it count, so I was really happy.
I don't know about you, but I was, like, before the game, that speech you gave, I was like, okay, keep him in, like, we'll try to, but it feels really great to, like, our last home game to be a win on the Robbins court, so pretty good.
My question, Coach, is the UMass game where players were looking a little stagnant, balls weren't going down, you were like 6 of 36 from three-point shot. How much did that game tick you off? The last two games you guys have brought an intensity that
You're asking me that question? It still sticks in me. I told the team that. I mean, I told them after the game today, it was a game that bothered me. And I felt like, and I'll be honest with you, I'll tell you what I told them. I felt like at that moment, that situation of playing that game to host, I don't know that we were prepared for that moment, and I don't know that we handled that situation with enough maturity. They learned really quickly, and then they went up to GW and got a win at GW, which is something they've not done as a group, and they proved that you can learn lessons very quickly, and then they turned it around and did it again against Davidson. So yeah, it bothered me, but the positive is that they responded to it.
I know that Alex isn't up here right now, and she was 4 of 14, she had 11 points, but she had the all-time best non-stat game. She was on the floor, she was hustling. Of course, like I said, the UMass game, she was 0 of 7 from the floor, but she hustled tonight along with your players up there. What do you think about her progression in turn? Now she's basically a sophomore, not a freshman anymore.
She's not a sophomore. I mean, I say that because when people say that, I think this: they've not done this yet, and you're not a sophomore till you've done this, gone through tournament, gone to spring break, gone home, thought about it, let it all sink in. Then you're a sophomore.
Postseason.
Yeah, postseason. I mean, it takes postseason running and all that fun stuff, right? She needs that, right, Michaela?
Yeah.
But the one thing I'd say about this is I got a lot of confidence in Alex. I got confidence in a lot of our players that are playing a lot of minutes right now. If she goes 0 for 7, to me, it's an anomaly. Like, I don't think that's what I see in practice. That's what I don't believe. I don't believe she's going to do that, but I think she's still learning some lessons that come with being a freshman. So I trust her being on the floor, and I think tonight she stepped up and made plays.
Now, Coach, first time y'all played Dayton, it was 6-59, very tight game. You had them. You had a chance where y'all had a chance to take the victory in that one, but 7 of your last 9. I mean, what is your confidence level going into Friday?
I think we have to defend those players the same way and a little bit better than we defended them the first game. I thought we were very good with Scout. They do a lot of ball screen action in transition, which is very hard to guard, and they have 5 kids on the floor who can score, and that's also something different because we've always had an opportunity to kind of help off somebody. It's going to require immense focus for us as a basketball team defensively, and we're going to have to be a little bit better offensively.
Michaela, is there maybe extra energy for a senior in a game like this where the win or go home?
Yeah, I think the whole overall goal is for us to win the A-10, so every game counts, and we're going to get excited about every game we win from now on, or from here forth. But I think it's just going into the game knowing that we can beat any team in the A-10. If we just work hard, play our defense, play our game, it'll be a good game.
Coach, can you remember a better defensive game than Kylie Murphy has played on this floor in a while? I was pretty impressed by her defensive game.
Honestly, I thought she was. Y'all would not have on this floor. No. St. Bonaventure was incredible. I'd rate that as a little bit higher, maybe, because the kid she guarded ran her to death, and she was right there with her. The cool thing about Kylie, and it's totally underrated, but we lost the game without her. We played Davidson without her, and when I watched the tape, it was obvious where we missed her and where we needed her. And then tonight, I had to switch her off the guards and put her down there on lat. She didn't say a word. All she says is, okay, I'll do it. And she's excellent at it. Who do you want me to guard? I'll guard them, and I'm going to do it really, really well. I think, and I'm very biased, obviously, but I think I'm sitting next to two kids up here that deserve honors in the Atlantic 10. Whether they get them or not, I don't get to vote for them. But if I had 14 votes, they're unanimous. They're going to win those honors because I got an unbelievable defensive player and an unbelievable player of the year up here, and they've proven it, and they're playing as well as they could play at the end of their careers, and that makes me proud.
Well, Coach, you already gave me a strong speech about that at VCU.
I'm not going to go back.
So we're not going to go back. but anyway, just harping off tonight again. You guys were 11 of 12 down the stretch, getting those shots. Plus, like you said, the strong defensive effort.
Yep.
Talk about the free throws and how that strong defensive effort will propel you to maybe winning an A-10 title.
Yeah, I think you got to hit free throws down the stretch. I mean, every game, and we talked about this, it's a 40-minute game, and in tournament play, everybody's playing. I mean, Davidson's got seniors. Dayton's got seniors. Those kids don't want to go home. We don't want to go home. So it comes down to knocking down free throws at the end of the game, and we try to get the ball into the players' hands that are going to make those, and I thought we did a really good job with that. And then I thought we were really, really good defensively down the stretch of at least making them work off the clock. And that was big. They weren't able to hit a quick shot and then, get in their press or whatever they needed to do.
Can you talk about your start? I mean, that may have been one of the best quarters.
Well, it was far better than the start we had the first game,
Yes.
where we were down 21-10 in the first quarter, and Michaela was sitting on the bench in 2.5 minutes next to me. No offense. So I was a little worried about the start because I saw a little bit of tightness in us in shoot around. I sensed a little bit of more want to, and that was leading to some mistakes. And I think you saw that in our turnovers tonight. I mean, we had uncharacteristic 20 turnovers, which were not normal. But I do think that we were able to get some good shots, and we knocked those down, which I think calmed the nerves and allowed us to play a good first quarter.
Coach, it seems like Alicia Hudala, you put her on any of the toughest low post player in the conference, and she handles her business. What are your thoughts on just her play?
It's funny you asked that. So my wife and I was at home right before we came over here, and Hoosiers was on. You ever seen Hoosiers?
Yes.
Okay. You better if that's a bad question. So I'm watching Hoosiers, and that's that scene where Strap is, you got to tell him what kind of gum. I want you so close to, need to tell me what kind of gum he's chewing. That's Alicia. Like, that's what she does. And she's all over the floor. She took 3 charges tonight. She's dehydrated. She's struggling with that. But she battles and battles. That kid's got bruises all over her body. But she's a senior. And she's playing, again, our seniors are playing as well as they can possibly play at the end of their careers. And I mean that wholeheartedly. Alicia's like that. I mean, that's what she does. And she's playing not to go home, not to end her career. And I can't be more proud.
Kylie, put me on the spot.
Coach Schaefer just talked about, the role you have to play. Speak to that mentality. Speak to having to put all your energy into guarding the opponent's best player while also facilitating the offense on the other end, because you do a hell of a job doing that. Your third all-time in assists. Just kind of speak to that balance.
So I think the 4 years of just playing straight point guard, I feel really comfortable with the ball, and I feel like I know what coach wants and I know which players need to get the ball. So it's not easy, but reading offenses, I feel like it just comes more naturally. So then on defense, when I'm really focusing on defense, I can just focus on my man, and then offense, I just read whatever the defense gives, really.
Also, Michaela, just real quick, we have a saying here at the Legacy Maker Sports Network: when you get to the free throw line, when you're in the game, you come off the screen and roll, you hit the shot. We call it the Parsons spot. Why are you so successful from that spot?
Believe it or not, I actually didn't shoot that shot until this year. It was the coaches, this summer, this preseason, that was the shot that our former teammate Janelle would hit, and that, money. but I really had to work on it this summer, and I mean, it's still not perfect, you know, still got some kinks to it, but I think that's a spot where I'm most comfortable now.
It's a good shot if you think about it, because it puts her at the free throw line where she's obviously very good, but it gets her also in a position where she's one dribble away from a layup. So it puts a lot of pressure on the defense, whereas if she's out past the three-point line, it's a 2-3 dribble move, getting by somebody, help can get there. When she's at the free throw line, if she catches that shot and you don't close her out quick enough, you know, she's shooting, and if you do close her out, she's one dribble and a layup, and I think that's good for her.